Good morning, fellow Forex traders. Happy Friday, wherever you may live. It's Friday, October the 20th. I won't be on here too long today, but I am live. I will do a recording on it so that way you can go back and watch the video if you miss any. First time here for you. I do live streaming. Been doing it for 2.5 weeks now. I do swing trading. I don't do day trading, even though sometimes there is day trades. Sometimes there's not till the next day. So you just have to be patient. If you're wanting action, you're wanting to trade 10, 20 times a day, this is not the room for you. There's plenty of those on YouTube, but I advise against those because I started out doing that back in the late 90s and blew 2 accounts, so I won't never go back to that again. The old saying is, you bought the t-shirt. Well, I burnt the t-shirt when I done that after doing it. This is my setups right here. This is what I look for. This is the pound dollar. This is live. Had a buy signal yesterday, and it came back into it. This was last night where it poked down there, and now you'd be up. I'd take half off, which is what I've done, and I moved my stop for originally, which was here. I have now moved it up to this low, even though I entered there. So now I'm second half of my position is going to make money no matter what. So I'm in a trade, so I don't have to hunt for another trade on this pound dollar. So it's either going to continue moving up or it's going to come down and stop me out. But either way, I make money today, so the stress is off on that trade. See, we'll look at see that purple line right here. That is yearly. It's not weekly or daily. It is yearly. And you see what happened when we come down to it before, ran up. We come down to it, went below it, closed below it, and went up. We've come down, closed below it again. Now, are we going to go up or are we going to continue to go down? It's all going to depend on the dollar. With what's going on over in Israel and Gaza, this thing could go crazy at any time. So that's why it's better to take quicker profits when it hits the target. This thing just hit it just a little while ago at the 50, which on the pound, that's it, depending on the range for the day, and it still has not made its range, so I can do the 50. Otherwise, if the range is kind of done a good majority of it, then I bring it down to 40. So all that goes into consideration, how far the daily range is gone. We'll look at the 4 hour. It's the same Aussie dollar. We'll look at it on the 1 hour. See, it had a buy over here on October the 3rd. Still in it. It hadn't taken it out yet. You got in it. You had a couple chances to get in it right there and make money. It come back down. You had another chance to make money. It's come back down again and just hasn't gone as far. Now the first target profit half off on this one is 30 to 35 because the range on the Aussie dollar is not as big. And see, you would have got your 30 if you'd have got that low. It actually went up 32, but it's pulled back down in here. And again, this is tied to the dollar. So we got some resistance somewhere down here. I know we got it up above, which we fell from. and up even higher. That's 500 pips away, so that's not going to happen quickly, not on the range of this, unless something happens, you know, war wise over there. Then Aussie could really move up. I'll switch it to the 1 hour, see how it looks. There's the buy, the better picture, your chances to get in there, chances to get in again, and that's back down here again, but it's third time the charm where it's going to break through, as we already filled up the flush down up here. That would have been a good short. Pound CAD is in a buy. It ran away without you, but it comes back. It usually does this. It'll start to run away, then it'll come back, give you a chance to get in, and you may have had another chance in there depending on the risk to reward. Mine is 30 is the max for me. Any more than that, it messes up the risk to reward. But it come up, filled in the gap, which is what we thought, and then it sold off again. But do we got any resistance? I do not have any of these. I have to go back and look at the pound CAD, because I know I had one. So any questions or comments this morning, feel free. Even if you don't want to put it in the chat, you know, you can go to the comment section on my YouTube channel and put it in there. If you hit the subscribe button, you're also going to have to click on the notify me, and then that will notify you when I'm on live streaming, which is usually Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern time, until I'm going to kind of cut it short unless more people start showing up, because I got to be able to teach and train, trade from home, where you can learn on your own. You don't need to follow me, you need to learn. So that means you got to put work in. If you're not willing to put work in, you just want to follow trades, you need to go to another trade room. This one's not for you. I'm not trying to get a ton of subscribers, so like Taylor Swift numbers. I'm not trying to do that like others on YouTube are, because they spend half their time doing that instead of trading and teaching. So that tells me they're more trying to get a check from YouTube and then get advertising, so they get more money instead of teaching people to trade. They're spending more time doing that, marketing, than anything. I don't do that. I don't market anything. So I had a couple of comments last night, or late yesterday afternoon, I guess you should say, if I could clean up the charts a little bit. So that's what I've done. Made it a little bit more clear. On Fridays I usually don't trade unless it's the unemployment report, but I do peek at it to see if I have to move anything. And of course last night I was up late doing these charts, cleaning them all up, and it actually deleted a couple of them by accident. I had to go back and redo them. So I was up kind of late, and fortunately I was able to catch that pound before I went to bed. One last look. So I went ahead and put it in, and put my first profit target in, which got hit this morning, a little while ago actually. And I've been able to move my stop loss where it's going to make a couple of dollars, because where the the low of the next candle was, it's like $3 or $4 on top of the half that I made already. So that's the Aussie dollar. Oh, that's the pound CAD. Sorry, that's the pound CAD. It's still in a buy. The pound yen, it should push up to at least here today. Now that's a yearly pivot. See how we came through it right there, closed below it, came down lower, and we've not come back to touch it yet, but I got a feeling we're going to get close. And that'll be today, even though there's no news, and Friday is very light volume. Fridays are considered market maker day because they do stop runs. The unemployment day, which is once a month on Fridays, is a totally different animal. So pound yen is in a buy. It came down, gone up, came down, it's gone up again. I had missed this one when I was up because it had already made that spike down and it had gone up, and actually that candle was about to close at the top of the hour, so the risk was too great. And then I was already in bed then when this second one happened. I wished I'd have been up, because then I'd have got in there and would have taken off half my profit right now and moved the stop up, and it would have made money. So I'd been in that trade too, and just I wouldn't have to hunt for a trade, it's in it. So that would have been another, hour and a half that I had to stay up, and I was tired already because it was in the after midnight here in the US Eastern time. So this pound yen can go up to here, and it could even go further. I don't know if there's going to be enough volume to push it up there or not to retest that yearly pivot. That's yearly. It's not a daily or weekly or monthly. It's yearly. Those are significant, as you can tell. Close below it, come back up close to it, drove back down. Now we're going to come up and touch it again and go through it this time. Let's see if there's any down here any further. It's too far down. Okay, so that's the pound yen. The euro New Zealand has continued to climb with very little. That was the only retracement there was, and it wasn't that big. It's like that one, isn't that one? Isn't? But we're getting up close to resistance. Again, you can see this is a yearly pivot. We came above it, closed above it, came back down to it right there. They spiked it down, and then it's driven up. So we've got divergence here with a higher pricing, so I'm looking for a pullback on the euro New Zealand, and more than likely it's going to be down to here if that starts today, which it very well could be. It's in a sale right now on the 1 hour. It's in a sale. So that's the euro New Zealand. The pound New Zealand done the same thing as the euro New Zealand, and it came up here to resistance. There's resistance right there and stopped. That's where it's going to fill in that. The flush down there, and we had a flush up, which is just down here where the yearly pivot is. See how we went? Closed below it, drove up, come back, touched it, closed below it, drove up higher. Now will we come back down to it and retest it? Because that's still in a buy. Here's your poke, and see how it runs away? Gives you another opportunity. Your patience is rewarded. So patience is always the key in this. Don't force trades. Don't get in the middle of the trades. Don't take out highs. See, if you were going to take out the high, say if I'm going to take out the high of this, you didn't get much. Then it actually went below where you got in at. Now are you going to hang on to that? That's about 80 pips. This is a 4-hour candle, so that's about 80, almost 100 pips. So will this sell off from here, because it's up there where it could. It's a low risk trade for both of them, but the New York session opens in less than 50 minutes, so anything can happen. New Zealand yen still in a sell. I think it's got some kind of support here too. It's way on down, way. There's one up above. There should be. Oh, there we go. It's way on down too. Keep squeezing it out. The Euro Aussie is the same. It's trying to make it, and this is a 4 hour. It's trying to make a 4 hour sell. We'll go to the 1 hour. Let's see, we've had a flush up. Now, so at some point we're going to see a retracement back down into here. Not today. It ain't going to go that far, the range, especially on a Friday. Euro CAD. Same thing. It's made a flush up. We're going to have a retracement back on it. It may have already started. There's the sell up here. And if you got anywhere in there or in here, then you already took off half your position. And you've moved your stop from up here to break even. And when this pushes down, then you can move it down to these candles, and it's going to make even more money. But I would think we're going to have, let's see, a push probably down to here today on the Euro CAD. The pound Aussie, it filled in its flush down, filled it in right there, and it started to move down. But I'm expecting, because that's a yearly pivot right there, yearly. See how we went up and touched it and broke down, and we're coming back up towards it. I would expect it's going to get up close to that. Now it may not do this today, but the range is that it could. But there may not be enough volume for that to happen. So you kind of have to keep an eye on it, because it is heading up that direction. So we're expecting a push up into somewhere into here for the daily range. And got to keep an eye on the dollar yen. It's approaching 150, and if you remember a couple weeks ago, the Bank of Japan, when it got at 150.16, they drove it down over 300 pips in 1 hour. So we got to keep an eye on that today. I'm already shorting it from the 148.90s and the 149.90s, expecting the same thing to happen. Already got profit targets down there. Some a little bit lower than others. So I'm waiting on that to happen again. May not happen today though, is the only thing. May not happen today. So that's the pound Aussie, the CAD yen. It's coming up to do its flush up in here. That can happen today. There's your bias. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. So he was able to get in this one yesterday. Didn't get the very bottom though. I just missed it, but I still got it within my parameters. The move up, there's the buy signal, which you have to wait on. Move up, the pull back down, and the bigger move up. And it should go up into here today. Because this may go even higher because the CAD is tied to the oil. So with what's going on over there of Israel and Gaza, that this could get stronger. And the gas has been cheaper than the oil. Oil's been going up, gas hasn't, but it always comes back to itself. So you'd expect the CAD to go up. So that's what I'm expecting too. Expecting it to go up to probably 109.70s, 72 maybe. We have to keep an eye on that, all the yen pairs too. If you are long the dollar yen, be very, very careful. Very careful. Because on the spike down, you can always get back in. But if you've got profit, I would take it now. I wouldn't want to chance it, especially over the weekend. Because let me show you what it done the last time this happened. Scroll over here. That's a 1 hour candle. 1 hour. They spiked that down over 300 pips, and that's on the pound yen. And the dollar yen was the same, about 330, 340, something like that. They drove it down. So that can easily happen again. Or it could be more. That was just a send a message. That's all that was send a message. The next one could be the big one. So I want to make sure. Yeah, it's trying to creep up there now. Are they going to reject it down? Is that what's going to happen? So we have to keep an eye on that too. Euro yen, same thing. It's in a sell. There's its little poke up. This is on a 4 hour. That high is 158.93 basically. And that high is 158. $158.92. That's 92.5. Oh, 88. So that's a 4 about $4 plus $7 risk up there. So is there resistance coming up? Yes, but it's at 161.69. So it's about 300 away from where it's at. So it looks like that's a magnet, doesn't it? See, there's the Bank of Japan where they stepped in and drove the euro yen down 300, almost 300 on it. And so you could have got back in after the spike down. You took your profit up there, waited for that, got back in. You could take your profit again, wait for it to happen, buy back in if you wanted to do that. But in the meantime, you took two pretty good sized profits. Because if you get stuck in this and it drives down again, guess what? Wherever your stop is, it ain't going to get hit until it's way on down here. It's going to blow right through your stop. It always does on these huge major events. So you're going to get a terrible, terrible feel, because there has to be a buyer when you're selling to get out. There has to be a buyer. So that might be worth a little trade. It's probably worth a little trade. Put on maybe half size. Shorten it. But I think it still could come up. So what's the last one here? The Aussie yen. It's in a 1 hour. See, it had this flush. There's the flush down. Came back up to it and sold off. Now it's still in a buy here. From down over here, that's the last buy. That sell was over there. Showed up as a buy, went up here, so that was still in a sell. The sell hasn't been taken out yet, and the buy hasn't either. So could we push back down into here for another buy opportunity? See how that one, you had plenty of chances to get in there and then ride it up and take out right there. That could have went higher, and it still could go higher. But now you've been able to buy. I think the risk was too great on this. That low is 94.04, and that was 31.27. So that's right at my 30 pick risk. Could have got in, already took off half profit. And now your stop should be under here, right there, right at that low of that candle. If it takes that out, it's going to take this out, and it's probably going to drive down to here, and that could happen today. But if it pushes up, starts pushing back up, then you can move your stop to under the low of that candle. So from there to there, that low is 30, about 40, 47. So that would save almost $8. And again, you don't have to hunt for a trade. You're already in the trade. Now granted, when you got in this, you'd have taken off half. You'd have kept moving your stop up. Would have been from there to there. Another push up had been to there. Another push up had been to there. Push down, push back up. Then you brought it up underneath these, not that wick, because it's going to get filled in, which it did. You'd have brought it up to here. And it went down, spiked back up, took the high out, then you move it up to here. So that second half where you got in here, you'd have made money from there to here. And actually when it pushed up even higher, took out that high, you could have moved that candle up under there. Got $5 or $6 more. So you just have to patiently wait when you get in these so you can stay in them. That trade was on the October the 16th, and you'd have been out on later in the day, so you had to hold it overnight, and you'd come in the next morning and would have got stopped out. But do you care? And here goes another opportunity, and now you're doing the same thing. So you've not had a chance to move your stop. If you did get in here and moved your stop up, then it would have been underneath here. You'd have got stopped out. Now sometimes that means it's reversed and it's coming down, but this one would have been too great. 40, been 36 plus the spread, so it'd been 39 pips risk, which is too great for me. I can't take that. Throws off the risk reward for my strategy. Have to follow the rules. Have to follow the rules. So we got about less than 33 minutes before New York Exchange opens, but the volume will be light. It always is on Friday, except for non-farm payroll. So that means 3 Fridays out of the month the volume is terrible, and they leave it to the average Trader Joe, which is me and you, to fight it out. And then the market makers do stop runs because they know they can do that, and it's going to scare the average trader. So the big boys aren't trading. They're off to the Hamptons 3-day weekend, counting their money $1 at a time. And we're here fighting. So that's why I don't trade on Fridays, unless there was a setup like there was here on the pound dollar, which I've already got my profit. I need to push up here so I can move my stop up. So right now I've got it under this low. My entry was down here, so but it's got a couple dollars on it, so I've already made half the profit, and the other half of my position is going to make money no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Now, don't that take the stress off? Don't that relieve you that you got that? You don't have to hunt for another trade like these 1, 3, 5, and 15-minute traders do. Constantly got to hunt for trades. But it's because of the action. They feel they got to trade 20 times or 30 times a day. You don't need to. This proves it. You don't need to, because you're going to make more than what they do in the whole week in one trade. And if you got more than one, chances are you're going to make a lot more than what they do. And I've gone over this before for those of you who missed it. I'm sure you've seen on YouTube the trade rooms where they do wins and losses for the day, wins and losses for the week, wins and losses for the month, and even some wins and losses for the year. Pay no attention to that. That is very deceiving. I will give you an example why. Let me show you right here if I can find it. I gotta scroll back. This is a trade that I was in. So now let's take, for instance, you go on their YouTube page. A trader who's trading, whether it's 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, or even 30 minute. Most of them don't go that long out because they don't have patience. So usually it's less, because there's 4 candles in an hour, and you got 8-hour trading, so that's 32 candles that they can have to try to find trades. And that's on a 15-minute. They do 5 minutes, it's even more. 3 minutes, even more than that. 1 minute's a whole lot more than that. So they constantly got to get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. So you got to find the perfect opportunities to get in every single time. And what's the chances of that happening? Not very good. So they'll have on their screen somewhere in there, they'll have, let's give an example, they've done 50 trades for the month. They had, say they had a good month. 38 wins, 10 losses, and 2 break even with their 50 trades. You look on that page and go, oh, I got to follow these guys. Man, they're winners. They're winning 3 to 1, 3 times to 1. But what that doesn't tell you is how many pips did they get. Brokerage houses, now this is not my saying, this is what the brokerage houses say, all of them, whether it's Interactive Brokers, or Wanda, whoever you use, even Goldman Sachs on stocks, people that just buy stocks, they say on average, and on the Forex mainly, which is what I trade, the average trader takes profit at 8 to 10 pips. 8 to 10 pips. So say they got the 38 winners, 10 losses to break even. Now you'd have to find out how many pips did you give for those 50 trades. And don't ask them, you're going to have proof, because they could just throw you a number out. You want, if they're transparent, they're going to tell you this is how many pips I got, and be able to show it on there. And then you divide that into all the trades, how many pips they got, and I guarantee you it's going to be close to that 8 to 10 pip average. Now I'm going to give you my example. Let's say I'm not going to have 50 trades in a month. That's not going to happen. I won't have that because I'm a swing trader, not a day trader. So let's say I lost my first 10 trades, which this has never happened, but I'm giving you a worst case scenario. My first 10 trades was losers. I average anywhere from 4.5, 30 pip is max, and it's usually not even 30. I get it a lot less. The lowest I've ever had with the spread was 4.5 pips. But on average, it's right around about 12 to 15. That's on average. So say I lost 10 in a row, my first 10 trades, with 15 pips. That's $150 that I lost on a full trade. But now I have this trade show up. I wait patiently. It comes down to here. I take half off. Up here I've got my other half of position. So I'm writing it up. I actually got out. I know it went higher up here. I know it went higher. But the day that it climbed up here is when I got out. I know I could have got a little bit more. About another, well, almost 100. Yeah, 100. A little over 100. That I got out up in here, the other half of my position. Now that trade, that low was 75, even though it was 75.14. And this was 78.45. 330. Now that's what the second half of that position made. The first half made on the Euro New Zealand 60, because for the range on it, which is about 120 or more a day, the half profit range is 60 on this one, which is what I took half off. But then the rest of it made this. So that's like $280, $260. So now I'd be posting on my YouTube channel, on my screen. You'd go on there and see he had, for the month, 1 win, 10 losses, no break evens. You're going to look at that number and say, God, he sucks. He ain't no count. But what it doesn't tell you is I had $150 in losers, and I had a 280 or 60 winners. So it wiped out my 10 losers, plus gave me a profit of almost $150, and that's just on this one trade. more than likely I usually have several trades going at the same time. When it starts doing like this, it just move the stop up, got another one setting up, get it, move the stop up. So which would you rather have? You're fighting all the time, 50 trades over a month to get them easily 8 pips. Because you know what happens when they get the 8 pips, they have to move their stop to break even. Because if they don't, it could turn around easily and go past their stops, and now they're lopsided. Or if they move it to break even, which most of them do after they get the 8 pips, it can easily retrace that, and stop them out, and they wind up being right. But then they got 8 to 10 pips, and this is what I get. So I don't know about you, this is what I'd want to be trading, is this kind of stuff. And it's less stressful. See, once I get in the trade, I know what my risk is, which is low. That low was 75.05. That low was 75.14. So 9 plus 4 on the spread, or 5 on the spread. That was $15 risk. $15 is all I was going to lose. That means I couldn't go out if I lost that night. That was a meal out. That's all I lost. And the reward is this. See, don't chase that. Don't chase it when it starts running away. Don't chase it. It's going to come back and give you a low risk trade, as opposed to your stops here. If you get in, oh, it's running away, I got to get in. You're way up here. Now you made a little bit of money, but you got stopped out. Because your risk when you get into this candle, or even after that, you've seen that candle, say, oh, I got to get in, it's going higher. You're down here, you get stopped out, and you got a little bit. But when you get in there, that's your risk. That's too great a risk. Because if this came down and you just said, okay, I'm going to get my stop, I'm going to keep it right down here, then you could have been able to stay in. And then once this pushes up, now you can move it over to that low. So that's how this works. So you're welcome to kind of decide what you're wanting to do, how you want to trade. If you have a job, I would strongly suggest, if you're working full time, to do swing trading, to look into it, trading, because you can work your full-time job and still trade this way. If you are trading or following somebody who trades 1, 3, 5, 15-minute charts, and you're working a full-time job, you're taking a great risk of getting fired if they catch you. So is it worth that? As opposed to if you do swing trading, you look at it when you get up in the morning, look at it before you go to work, look at it on your first break, look at it lunch break, look at it again on your afternoon break, and then look at it on your way home, and then when you get home. You have several opportunities, and there's no risk that you're going to get fired, because you're looking at it on your own time, not company time. So risk to reward in life is everything. It is everything. And most people would, especially nowadays, would say if they got fired for doing that, they blame the employer. Why? It's your fault. You had an opportunity to look at something else. It's your fault, plain and simple. Swing trading, you can trade still. Day trading, I wouldn't. And even if you're at home trading, please don't use money that you can't afford to use. If you're using trading money to pay lot rent or a mortgage payment or a car note, or to buy food and clothing and stuff for the kids, then stop what you're doing. You need to wait. Just learn how to trade. Use the demo account. You don't lose any money. Find you a good strategy that works, that you're comfortable with. Just kind of go from there. I'm going to go through these one more time because there's nobody in the chat today. So my time is valuable just like your time is valuable. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you missed any of this video and you want to go back and look at it, I am recording it. It's live streaming. It'll be up around about 1 o'clock Eastern time, maybe a little bit before, where you can go back and look at it or cover what you missed. But hit the subscribe button and then you'll have to click on the notify me, and then it'll notify you when I'm on live stream. So we're going to go through these one more time. Pound dollar is in a buy and it's pushing up. If you're in this buy, which I am, your stop is now moved up to this candle low. Depending on where if you got in over here, it's because of the push up. That's where your stop is now, which I'm at a little bit past break even. I've actually got a couple of bucks. I've already took off the first half of the position up here a little while ago and been able to move my stop. Now if this pushes up, I'm moving my stop up to here. If it pushes on up over here, I'm moving the stop up to there. So now the second half is starting to make more money, and this is the profit target is up here. That's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen Sunday night, but it could be Monday before that happens. That means you got to be willing to hold it overnight. So that's the pound Aussie. The Aussie dollar is still in a buy. If you didn't get in there, you had to wait. It gave you another opportunity to get in. You made some money, but now you've been stopped out, and now you could actually get in again. But if it takes the low of this or this candle out, then it's going lower, and it's probably going to take that one out. But see how we do the flush? We come back, we fill in the flush, and it is sold off. The pound CAD in a buy, it started running away. Hopefully you didn't say then you seen that big candle like, I got to get in. You didn't make much and you got stopped out. Here was your chance to get in right here. There's your money maker. When you get in down here, you've took off half the position. You hadn't been able to move your stop yet because there wasn't a big flush up, because you're looking for the bigger flush ups. So your stop's over here. When this happens, now you move your stop from there to here, and that's at break even plus a couple of bucks. You have this pull down, but you're not stopped out yet, so it didn't come down low enough. So when it pushes back up, now you can move your stop up to over here. Now it's made a little bit more money. Now you got to wait. Now these are 1 hour candles, so you're having to wait 12, 14, 16 hours for the next push up, which comes right there on that spike. Now you're going from here to here, and you still haven't got stopped out. It done a little dribble up, dribble up, dribble up, then it brought back down because you were under this low. It didn't go down that low. Now you drive up. Now you can move it up to here, and because that's a pretty big old candle, 1 hour, then you want to move it up under that thing. But because it's at resistance right here, and there's resistance overhead right here, plus we done the flush up, we did the flush up, filled it in, the chances are that may be a place to take profit on the rest of it, and then you got stopped out if you didn't. If you had it right there or even moved it up into there, both of them got stopped out. So we're going to come back down in here. Sure looks like it, doesn't it? Because the CAD yen's getting stronger. See, we're doing its flush up too, and that would be up into here. the 109.70s. Now that could happen today. Let's see, there's your opportunity. So you get in, you could have got in on any one of these. There's your start of your run up. You took off half the profit, but it come down, you got stopped up. See, if you moved it to there, you got stopped out. If you were still here, you got stopped out. But it gave you another opportunity to get in long, and now you've moved, push up, move your stop, didn't get stopped out, push up, move your stop. That's a big old candle. You moved your stop to there, from there to there. And now you're waiting for another push up into here. Then you're going to move your stop to there. And then you got to decide, okay, we're up here at resistance. Right in here. Do I want to take it off expecting it to turn down? Or do I want to continue, if it pushes up into there, move it to there? That's up to you. So the pound yen, expecting a push up to here. That's a yearly resistance, so it could come up to here. If it's already done it once, twice, 3 times, you'd expect it again, and maybe even further. This could be the breakthrough. But because the dollar yen is up around where there's a potential spike down, which is approaching 150 again, so you got to keep an eye on it. And just like I got to keep an eye on this one. And then the pound Aussie, we came up, it filled in the flush. That's a yearly pivot. We hit it way over here, sold off, it ran away. Sometimes it'll do this, it'll run away, don't give you a chance. So we're expecting another opportunity to come back down in here. Now that won't happen today, and it won't happen Sunday night, but it could happen Monday morning early. So this is resistance up in here, so it could go up in here today. The Euro CAD is in a sell. The buy was down here. You had one opportunity, 2 opportunities, and then it ran away. But you were able to move stop ups. Once you got in there, see, it didn't come down, stop you out. That was your stop initially. You get in, it runs up, half your position's taken off. Now you move your stop to right there, break even. It doesn't get it. It pushes up, but it didn't take out that high. It goes sideways. There's the push up. There's the move from there to here. And then you got the flush up there. You got to expect there's going to be a retrace. Went sideways, retrace down. Next push up, it's where you move your stop from, here to here. And now you're getting up at resistance. A lot of resistance up in that. Went up above it about 20 pips, 25 pips. But see what's happening now. Expecting this to come down into here. And that's on the Euro CAD. So we're looking at all this stuff. The Euro New Zealand. Where is it at? It's making a 1 hour sell as we speak. But it's got 40 minutes left in that candle. So you can't, nothing to do. It's up at resistance too. And there's not really been a sell-off, so you got to expect a move down from here down to at least down in here. So I think that's going to be everything for today, guys. Again, one last time, if you hit the subscribe button, I'm not trying to push that. I'm not trying to get Taylor Swift numbers. I don't care about getting paid by YouTube. If I do, great. If I don't, that's great too. I make my money trading. I don't need that anyway. But You'll also have to click on the notify me, and that will notify you when I'm on live, and that makes it easy. And if you happen to like the training education I provide, please hit the like button. Again, I'm not trying to get 10,000 likes a day. I've actually have seen 2 different traders in their trade rooms when they did not get to 100 likes. They were in the 20s or 30s. They would say, I'm not going to put out a trade until you get up to 100 likes. Why would you do that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're serious about teaching and educating people on your trading style, and you want them to make money just like you make money, if you're making money, then that should be your whole prerogative, not trying to get so many likes. And I've seen them half the time they've been on for an hour or two, that's what they did. Push subscribing, push liking. So I think I've done a pretty good job of education and training and what to look for. Now it's kind of up to you guys. But I'm shortening the videos, not staying on as long until more people get in here, because I don't like hearing myself talk. So I'd rather be able to concentrate on more on looking for trades. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. Please, if you're in trades, take off whatever you feel comfortable with. If it's in profit, whether it's an eighth, a fourth, a third, a half, 3/4, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then move your stops up, but not too tight. And then if you're in the dollar yen long, please be very, very careful. Very careful. If you can get out, I would. You can always get back in if you've got profit, pretty good profit. Because if the Bank of Japan steps in Sunday night, your stop, wherever you got it, is going to get squashed. Because you see what happens in that 1 hour candle. There has to be a buyer there, and you think there's going to be anybody buying. They ain't going to be buying until it's been driven down 300. So you're going to get slippage on your stop. So you're welcome to comment in the chat, or send me a comment in the on my YouTube channel, and I'll answer back usually quickly. If it's overseas, then it's going to be a little bit later, because usually by the time you send it and I get it, I've woke up the next morning, so there's going to be 10-12 hours difference before I can answer. It doesn't mean I've just forgot about you. Just that's going to happen. But if it's over here in the U.S., then chances are it's going to be quick. So I apologize in advance if you think that I'm just avoiding you because you're overseas and ask a question and I hadn't seen it for 10 or 12 hours. That's because of the time difference, and I'm sleeping. But I will get to it. Promise you that. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. We'll plan on seeing you on Monday morning. I'm in the U.S., so it's Eastern time here. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. See you on Monday.